Hello dear students, I hope you guys are doing great. In this video, let us discuss on how to study like a topper. Many times you would have seen your friends who studies less than you or does not pay so much attention in class but still ends up being a topper. How is that possible, right? See, we all know that it is about the quality. It is about the quality of studies and not about the quantity. You may study more than him, but still he does better than you. How is that? So there are a few tips for you where you can study like a topper. So jumping into the video, our first tip for you is prioritization. What is prioritization? Identifying the core syllabus. What do I mean by core syllabus? See, you always know around 30 to 40% of the syllabus comes from major chunk of marks. Correct. So these are repeatedly asked by your examiner. These are repeatedly asked. These always repeat, and they are considered to be important, right? How do you understand which is your course syllabus? Yes, you will have to analyze the past papers. Take around 5 years of past papers and keep seeing in every chapter what has been asked, what is required by the examiner, what does he stress on, what is important. Okay, so first you understand that. Again, always your teacher, when you're taking classes, your teacher most of all stresses on topic. See, this is very important, such sums have been asked, very important, right? See, those topics you keep a mark, and most of the times these end up coming in the exams, right? So first step for you is to prioritize. When you understand what is your course syllabus, the whole thing is to become a pro at it. You have to be perfect in those topics. Whatever questions have been asked, you should be sure of answering such topics, right? First is prioritization. Coming to next one, guideline answers. See, these are your guideline answers. No, your institute releases guideline answers for every attempt. What do you mean by guideline answers? These are the key answers. These are the key answers that has been given to your evaluator. See, when you give your whatever answers you write, no, this evaluator will compare your answers with the guideline answers. Okay, this is basically a solution key for him. So what does he do? He will see whether if you have written 4 points, and here if there are 4 points, okay, you've written everything full marks, right? So you don't know what type of evaluator you are going to get in the exam. You might be creative, you might be way more intelligent, but the way you put your answers in the paper determines whether you're going to pass or fail. And if your evaluator is a knowledgeable one, and if you have written creative answers, you are saved, my dear friend. But let me tell you, there are lot of evaluators who just see whether your answer matches to the guideline answer. So then you might turn unlucky, but we don't want to be unlucky in the exams, right? Also, let us keep our creativity for ourselves for this exam. Let us try and make our answers let us replicate our answers to the institute need, right? Whatever the institute needs from us. Let's say even if you're solving a simple practical sum, okay, let's say even if you're solving a simple 5-mark practical sum, and if it has 8 steps, okay, maybe the first 2 steps is just writing what is there in the question itself. Maybe, right? It happens most of the times, and this could fetch you 2 marks, but we will think this is not required. Why should you again repeat what is there in the question? But it might give you some marks. So what am I suggesting to you is you refer to the guideline answer and you try and replicate. If there are 8 steps, we want our answers to be in full 8 steps. This is the way you're going to get maximum marks. See, many times you will feel I wrote everything in the exam, but still why didn't I score well, right? Yes. So the key is to understand how many steps. You understand what is the need of your institute. You understand how the institute wants you to answer, and why don't you answer in the same way. Okay. Yes. Next, coming to mock test papers, very important. This is going to change your perspective about examinations, trust me. Why am I saying this? First, you set up writing mock test paper under exam conditions. Okay, under exam conditions, you keep the question paper with you, and under exam conditions means at the same time silent, everything away, keep a clock, keep an alarm clock, and write your mock test paper under exam conditions. So in this way you're practicing, you are practicing and you are putting yourself through an exam phase even before you face the actual exam. So when you go to the actual exam, no, you are going to feel way more comfortable, way more confident. And also, what is it going to do to you? It's going to help you in writing practice. See, you might know how to answer, but when you actually write the exam, you will forget most of the points, and sometimes your hands shiver. You don't know what to write. And in the exam, most of the times it might happen to you. You will feel, I knew this so well, but I'm unable to put it into the paper. So writing mock test papers will give you one, writing practice. Second, it will help you make your answers crisp and clear. Okay, when you analyze and assess, you will self assess your paper, thinking what all you wrote. Some things could be junk as well, which is absolutely not required in the paper, but still you write it because you're in that tension, right? So you'll be able to self assess yourself and you'll be able to make your answers crisp and clear. Next, coming to the most important, students, most important, I tell, revision notes. I've been stressing on this for quite a lot of time. See, this will help you for repeated revision. You cannot sit and study your entire textbook one day before exam, and also repeat and recall is the key to remember whatever you've studied. You see, I've got messages from many students saying, ma'am, I've studied this 1 month ago, I've studied this 2 months ago, but now when I open it for the next time, I don't even know if I've studied this before, right? Why? Because you've not got back and you've not done the recalling. See, if you don't recall every now and then, you're going to forget everything. It is as good as having not studied. It is as good as having not studied. You will again have to invest that same amount of time and energy to study those syllabus. So what you need to do, you make one small revision notes. Small revision notes, write all the key points. If you're doing practical paper, you write down the formulas, the steps, the way you should approach it. If you're doing theories, you make mnemonics, short forms, whatever goes the best for you. But you have to have a revision notes, or else you're going to freak out one day before exam. Okay, so these are the 4 tips for you what a topper does. If you see any topper, if you see any student who has consistently topped exams, consistently done well, you will definitely find them doing all these, right? So I definitely want you to do amazing in your exams. I'm sure you're capable, you're energetic, you are the best. Okay, all the best for your exams. I really want you to keep your spirits high. Don't lose hope, don't lose confidence. Whatever may come, whatever the situation is today, maybe whether your exams have been postponed, you may there is a lot of uncertainty outside. Yes, I understand there is panic, there is chaos everywhere, but you are strong, you are capable, you are determined, you're passionate. Just believe in yourself, and don't let any external factor affect you. It is you and your exams, and you are the one who's going to crack it and get through your goals, right? All the best, good luck, you will do amazing.